school year just started, but it's the perfect opportunity to start researching colleges with your high school student. Christine Van de Velde is the co-author of College Admission from Application to Acceptance. It's step-by-step guide that is just terrific. Thank you so much for coming in. I looked through this and it sort of reminded me of the what to expect when we first had our children, and now it's what to expect in the college admission process. And the one thing I came away with is this sense of, okay, we can do this, sort of relax about it, even though people really do stress about it.
That's right. Two statistics. 8 out of 10 colleges accept more than half the students who apply to them. More than 3 out of 4 students are accepted by their first choice school.
So more than 3/4 of students are getting into their first choice. And I don't think people realize that. They get so overwhelmed and think, I'll never get into my first choice, so I have to apply to so many different schools.
Yes, and they do themselves a disservice. We recommend in the book that you apply to between 6 and 10 schools. If you apply to more than 10 schools, you're going to run into a problem because you can't get to know each school well enough to do a good job in your application. Colleges are looking to see if you're going to be a good fit for them. And so they want to see that in the essay and in the interview, and in the application itself. And if you apply to more than 10, you run 2 risks. You're going to run the risk of maybe not getting into a school because you weren't able to show the school that you were a good fit, or the risk of getting into a school that may not really be a good fit for you in a place that you'll be happy.
And that's what I was just going to ask you. One of the things you say is don't fake it, because you want to find the place that you're going to fit in as well.
Yes. Authentic, authentic, authentic. Kids want to know what colleges are looking for, and they think that they have to mold themselves into some idea that's going to make them more admissible. This is what colleges are looking for. They're looking for you to be genuine.
Yes, but you do have to start paying attention to it really from the beginning of high school. And when you talk about your sort of academic record and choosing the right classes, it is important to make wise choices, but maybe not to overly focus on it.
Yes, look at college as the option, as the option, but not the end goal, and especially a particular college. So, especially with course selection, you don't want to close any doors by not taking, say, you don't like math, so I'm not going to take math. Take the math because you're going to need that in order to apply to college. And one of the things that was a surprise to me in writing this book was that the one element that colleges most look at in terms of making their admission decisions is the academic record. And that's your grades and your classes.
Which is interesting because a lot of people feel like, oh, the extracurriculars, I need to have 12 extracurriculars on my record here. Not necessarily the case?
No, not at all. People get spun up into thinking that the extracurriculars are the thing. It's your academic record.
And one of the things you talk about is being smart about choosing the colleges. And you touched on that briefly, don't apply to too many of them. But how do you make the decision of which one is right for you? Do you need to visit every one of them, or is it okay to check them out online?
Checking them out online is a good place to start, and the best place to start is what the school says about itself. Because there's been an explosion of information on the web about colleges, and not all the information is reliable. So the most reliable source is always going to be the college's website itself. So start there, and then move out from there. You don't have to visit every college, but you should visit every type of college. For instance, if you're interested in a large public, and you can't get, from California to Michigan, well, visit a large public in California. It's going to give you a good idea of what that type of school is like.
How it feels. Is it overwhelming to you, or is it something that is very exciting to you? And then when you get into the process, you do have to do your interview. And I know you talk a lot in here about parent involvement and how much we should be involved with the application process and even the interview process. There's a role for parents, but not there in the interview.
That's right. And in the book, we take you very carefully through all the different types of interviews. And we basically give parents the cues that they can look for when they go into that office with their son or daughter as to whether or not they're going to be asked to be in the interview or should wait in the waiting room or will have a chance to answer to have their questions answered at the end of the interview. The interviewers in these admission officers are very experienced professionals, and they will basically give you all the cues and information you need to know what your role in the interview will be. But we also give you a good little list of questions that you should never ask.
Okay. Don't get too involved. And I thought it was interesting in here, you said, and don't be in your BlackBerry like you're disinterested. Make sure you seem like you are interested in helping out. There's a whole other section here on aid as well, and it's surprising that there's more aid available if you kind of do your homework. So this is just such a terrific guide. Thank you so much for coming in and putting it all together for us. It's just a simple place to go to help out with all of your college needs. So Christine Vandevelde, thank you. The book is College Admission from Application to Acceptance, Step by Step. To learn more, you can go to College Admission.